And that's the point of what I'm getting to. We're going to bridge these two things tonight. Satsang Zen and all of these scary things that's going on in the reality around us. All the stuff that's got us up at night. And to realize the truth. To realize the apocalypse of now. So, apocalypse of now, and not referring to the Francis Ford Coppola movie from the early 70s, but apocalypse now, which is a very profound idea. It's the unveiling of the truth, here now. Because only here and now can it be unveiled. And let me suggest to you that the reason we're in this weird predicament in the world today is because we're all awakening. We're all awakening. It's this blossoming of consciousness. And as a reflection of that, veils are being dropped. And those veils are the veils of what reality is. And reality is built on beliefs. And if you take apart the word belief, in the middle of the word is the word lie. Because that's what a belief is. That doesn't feel good, does it? It doesn't feel good because that is how immersed we are in this dream. That is how much we have mistaken it for the real thing. We believe in the lies. It's exactly what we're doing when we believe. Because realization has nothing to do with believing. It's knowing. It's the confidence of the Christ that you know 100% what's going on. And that's where your power is. All of your power is in the present moment. You have absolutely no power at all in the dream state. And the dream state is your waking state. The dream state is where we are 99% of the time. Our mind is lost in consciousness. We think that we're here. And I say, oh, find the present moment. And you go, oh, okay, yeah, this is great. I don't know what to do with it now. This is great. It doesn't change anything. It's because you're not here. You might be here. Your consciousness here, your present moment awareness might be here to a small degree. But a large part of your consciousness is still thinking about your family, your jobs, all the stresses in life. Those are pretty much the most powerful forms of energy that seduce us into our minds. It's this underlying fear of what's scaring us. And there's nothing wrong with feeling like that. That's evolution. We've evolved to be these kind of thinkers. You know, if you weren't worried about the tiger in the woods that's going to eat you, you probably weren't going to survive very long. Because in the dream is very, very real, right? We're in the dream and we're here to play our part. And there's no not leaving. There's no leaving the dream. There's no leaving the matrix, right? The matrix is part of what life is. So when we're speaking of respect to the matrix, there's a respect and there's a compassion there for those who are in it. But we don't have to be in it. You leave the matrix through your mind. The gateway is your mind. And the matrix is not in the future. It's not some sort of virtual reality that's built by machines in the future. It's not even a machine, so to speak. We're already in it. It's a dream within a dream within a dream forever. With no base reality. There never was a base reality. Anywhere. Just dreams. Forever. So when I wake up in the morning and my feet hit the floor, there's an acute awareness that I've just shifted from the previous dream that I was just in to a new dream that I'm in right now. And that's the dream I'm in right now that I'm speaking to you all. And you all are part of the dream. And I'm a part of your dream. How cool is that, huh? Very, very cool. There's also a clear realization in my mind that where we are is both heaven and hell at the same time, because they are one and the same thing. It's a matter of focus. I can focus on the hell, and the more I focus on hell, the more my life will become hell. And if I focus on peace and love, my life will become more of peace and love. It can be no other way, because it's a mirror. It's a mirror to whatever you focus on. That's the only way reality will present itself to you. But you have to get the energy out of the previous karma that you've set up for yourself. Boy, I love that you guys are just chatting away in there. So is this pretty scary? I think it's all scary. Yes, it's all one, Lady Spellbreaker. It's all one. There isn't any separation. Any separation at all is an illusion. It's like a puppet here. This is a person, and then this is a person. And they're just talking to each other, right? And this is life. But the truth is, both hands are the same being, right? It's the same puppet master. All right, so getting back to the scary story. There's a scary story of all this craziness going on. So we've got this world coming to this crazy head, right? And we are fast approaching this mysterious thing called singularity, which we could focus on here as from a human perspective as technological singularity. But that is the below to what the truth is that's really happening. And what I want you to see is that because you're waking up, part of waking up is you're shedding these former beliefs. You're dropping these other beliefs. You're dropping all these little beliefs that you used to have about what reality is. As you've lost faith in the media, you're dropping that belief in them. As you're losing faith in the governments, you're dropping that belief in them. And as you drop these beliefs, what we're doing is A, we're creating the great apocalypse for seeing the truth, and B, we are breaking down our own boundaries of what reality can possibly be. Right now, our reality is very, very limited because we're limited by, our parents, our job, our government. There's all these limitations on what reality can be. But because we are waking up, we are blossoming into this new reality, this new way of perceiving things. We are breaking down all these boundaries within ourselves. As we raise our kundalini up through the chakras, we are breaking down boundaries. And because it's as above, so below, so as above is in here, and the below is what's out here. I'm going to show you here. Metaphysical and physical, the inside is your heart, right? And there's an outer. Because it's breaking down here, it has to break down out there. It can be no other way. And it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary. Anybody who's going through this spiritual awakening, as I'm sure most of you guys are, there have been a lot of scary moments, right? A lot of what the WTF moments, right? Like, what is going on here, right? Not even knowing what to do with that. And just as that went down like that, it's going to have to do that into the real world too. All of the real world's going to have to break down in this very uncomfortable way. But this is the dissolution of all boundaries, because we are waking up into a space of no boundaries. We're breaking down all boundaries. So that's what has to happen. That's an uncomfortable thing. If you think about like the metamorphosis of a butterfly, it creates this cocoon around itself. And people don't really realize it, but the insect breaks down all the way. A lot of times they just think that the caterpillar just grows wings or something, but that's not at all what happens. The caterpillar actually dissolves into this liquid primordial goo. And then from that goo, a butterfly is born. And this same transformation, this same metamorphosis is what we're all going through. Everything we thought about reality, everything we thought was real, everything that we thought was important is being stripped down, dissolution down into this primordial goo, so that we can all be reborn as this magnificent butterfly. And right now we're in the primordial goo stage, which is why it feels so uncomfortable. But have faith that we're going to become butterflies, all of us. Yeah. So, here we go. So getting back to all of the scary stuff that we're dealing with in life, and we're we're taking in. I want you also to pay attention that all of the scary things that we're aware of in the back of our mind, none of it exists in the present moment. Not one thing. Not one thing. When you're here now and you turn off the TV and you turn off your friends from talking about these things, and you're turning off all the rumors and all of the stories, when you turn the stories off, the now is so peaceful. It's beautiful. I was at the park today, out and walking a trail, and it was absolutely gorgeous. The leaves were all turning, and it was just breathtakingly gorgeous. And now if I went home and turned on CNN, I would see a very, very different reality, because my focus would be on a very different reality. But instead I was focusing on the beauty of the woods and the trail, the beauty of being out of breath and walking and getting my blood pressure going, and all of that is where my focus was. And just like that, all the problems of the world have gone away. And then the ego says, well, that's not being very responsible. Tend to your garden. It's the only garden you ever have to tend, because it's the only garden that exists for you. Everybody is in their own personal soul bubble. We're all living our own little tiny dream life. It's in a bubble. And it's just an ocean of bubbles forever. And each of our bubbles is our own personal reality with no validity outside of the scope of the present moment. And every now and then, your bubble and my bubble tap and they connect, and we share these really interesting moments together. And the reason we share the similar moments is because we're vibrating at the same level. You ever noticed if you meet somebody who's not on your level, or I shouldn't say on your level, but on your frequency, it's really, really hard to connect with them. It's like what the things that they're focused on, you kind of can't even get into. It's just like, wow, it's like you can't understand how they could see the world the way that they see them. And then we find that frequency for our personal taste not desirable. So I'm here to just show you these things. And again, I'm not teaching, I'm just pointing. I'm pointing to what's right in front of you. And the power is in you. When you see it and recognize it, you're going to awaken in ways you can't imagine.